time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
32! I give you radar.
To throw on second down to Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Stafford on first down. Flush to his right. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41.
Down, tag 53.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Here's Stafford. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play action. Stafford. He'll buy some time right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up.
All right, here we go.
Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It's hauled in by Shepard. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on fourth down. They're going to try and throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll set up a throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Lions. 51 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Here's Riddick. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Riddick with a carry. And some room to roam now. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Hey, tag 50 left. Hey. 11.
Now Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is. And it's
this is taken in. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Over here. Jumbo. Zebra.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Kareem Martin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Stafford now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Leopard! Leopard!
Back to throw here. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 52 yards. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. This is Gallman. And some room to maneuver. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Devon Kennard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Gallman. He will push his way down to about the 14. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. Here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And he'll go down at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw on second down is Stafford.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To the air again, Stafford. And yes, he found Toilolo. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Hey, tag 50 left.
Throwing again is Stafford. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, able to avoid him. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's Gallman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Back to throw again. Open man right side is Ingram. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. It's caught. Shepard. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the toss, there goes Gallman. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead now up to 14. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to third down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll look to throw here. And his throw here's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On the return, it's Tate. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. B.J. Goodson. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon. Now
Stafford. And that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, middle.
Third and long, it's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll get it up just short of the The 45 at the 44. Gallman will run it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Looking to throw. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. They'll set up a throw. On the catch, this is Russell Shepard. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. The Lions on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Stafford. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Throwing deep for Galladay. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And Rosas puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. So out now come the Lions. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go back to Reddick. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Stafford. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep down. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play on third down for the Lions. 46 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now, Barney!
That one looks like he'll throw here. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air on a first down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. Room here to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.